Landing his jab right there that really knocked Jake back. I think that's his most effective punch of the round. But then we see the right hand grazes Mike Tyson by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot had it been on the chin. So Mike barely escaped.
Tyson revealed the truth behind the Jake Paul fight. It's as dramatic as you'd expect. The man who can shatter heavy bags with punches like gunshots enters the ring and suddenly appears soft. His legendary brutal hooks were turned down to gentle sparring partner mode, leaving fans questioning the true intensity of the match.
See Jake Paul land a beautiful jab with right hand first, right there, and knocked Mike off balance 2 times. And Mike was highly off balance right there. I don't like how his legs look. Yeah, something wrong with the mouth gear.
That affects his oxygen intake, right?
Tyson's punches, which usually make opponents question their life choices, seem more like friendly pats on Jake Paul. Unbelievable. The man who once turned opponents into memes before memes even existed, now couldn't finish a YouTuber with just 11 fights under his belt. Suspicious, right? Well, Tyson just spilled the truth, and trust me, his explanation is juicier than anything you've seen on X this week.
Mike Tyson people talk to. People are there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
Joe Rogan, the voice of modern combat sports, didn't hold back when analyzing a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight on his podcast. Rogan marveled at the surreal sight of a 58-year-old Tyson facing off against a YouTuber turned boxer. While he acknowledged Jake's youthful energy and improving skills, Rogan couldn't overlook Tyson's diminished speed and power. Mike still has that head movement, Rogan noted, but the punches aren't what they used to be. In the end, Rogan concluded that while Jake may have won, it wasn't the unstoppable Mike Tyson that fans remember and adore.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong. You know, when you guys know the whole story about Shark Week, and you know, if you don't, I begged him not to do the Roy Jones fight. You're too old. I love you. I don't want to see you take any more punishment. So I set him up on Shark Week. He got paid good money. And he's like, you fucking... So he almost flipped out the last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat because he had to jump in with all these sharks again in the middle of Florida. And he's like, this fucking asshole says that, you know, he cares about me and everything else. I've been fighting since I was 12. And he throws me in the ocean with a bunch of sharks. He was right about that, too. But he basically said, I told him, Mike, you're basically 60 years old. And he's like, you honestly think this kid's gonna do anything to me?
Dana White just came clean. Mike Tyson was right, and Dana was totally wrong about the Jake Paul fight. Shocking, right? Dana had begged Tyson not to fight Roy Jones, saying he was too old, yet somehow didn't think Jake Paul would be the one to take Tyson down. But Tyson didn't need to knock Paul out. All he had to do was show up, collect his paycheck, and prove once again that when Tyson's in the mix, everyone makes money. At nearly 60, Mike Tyson didn't just box Jake Paul, he boxed the entire system. So, next time you sit down for a Netflix night, don't fool yourself into thinking you're witnessing the greatest live sporting event. You're just watching a payday disguised as a fight.
The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. The opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened. As soon as the bell went, Mike Tyson came out with that head movement, pushing forward. Immediately he stalks forward with his signature bob and wave style. Now let me just stop right there. Even before I seen this script, that's exactly what was going to happen. Like, what else would happen? Would Mike Tyson come out?
When Tyson came out, we all hoped to see a classic KO, but let's be real, this isn't the Tyson of the 80s. Jake Paul didn't knock Tyson out because he couldn't, not for lack of trying, but because rushing in on a 58-year-old who still knows how to counter punch isn't worth the risk. Paul played it safe, winning on points and adding, "I beat Mike Tyson" to his resume. Was the fight scripted? No. If it was, they need better writers because this script lacked real drama or surprises. But hey, believe what you want. Tyson's already $20 million richer. Jake Paul adds another win in his record, and boxing purists are crying into their vintage fight posters.
Many are upset over the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there's this script that got leaked showing how the fight was supposed to go down between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. This was actually covered by World Star Hip Hop. So let's read this alleged script and see how the fight was supposed to go down. So round one was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style.
Mike Tyson just dropped a bombshell about the Jake Paul fight, and surprise, people are calling it a glorified script, not a real boxing match. Elite script apparently outlined every punch, jab, and dramatic stumble, like a poorly written reality show. Tyson shows up in round one with his classic bob and weave, while Paul spends the time running around like he's avoiding his chores. A few punches land, but shocker, Paul's youth keeps him ahead. In round two, Tyson lands a body shot so clean it makes the crowd gasp on cue. Meanwhile, Paul, the marathon runner, bounces around as if fatigue is nothing but a myth.
The ring cautiously, Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability. Paul connects with a quick 1-2 combination before retreating. Tyson's timing appears slightly off, his punches a fraction slower than his prime. Round two, Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage to pepper Tyson with long jabs.
By round three, Paul gains confidence, landing punches like he's been doing this forever, while Tyson's head movement slows. In round four, Tyson looks tired and Paul lands clean shots, turning the fight into a highlight reel of Jake's footwork. By round five, Paul delivers a perfectly timed combo, sending Tyson to the canvas. The 10 count hits and Paul wins by KO. The crowd is left wondering if they just witnessed a fight or a Broadway play. Tyson didn't explicitly say it was rigged, but let's be honest, it doesn't take a detective to see this was more scripted drama than actual boxing.
Like I expected it to be. What is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer?
A very good fighter.
Do you think he deserves respect from the public?
Absolutely.
Hey, that was a good slap. I like that.
Apparently, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation couldn't handle the risk of a real fight, so Tyson and Paul turned the event into a sparring session with a sprinkle of drama. Tyson claimed it was all about giving the fans a show, but what they got was a watered-down version of boxing, where both fighters agreed not to go too hard on each other. No knockdowns, no knockouts, just two guys playing tag in front of a paying audience. Tyson even confessed to carrying Jake Paul, saying he helped the YouTuber turned boxer look good in the ring. Of course, Tyson had his reasons. He revealed that earlier in the year, he'd gone through a near-death experience, losing half his blood and undergoing 8 transfusions. While he explained his lackluster performance, it did little to soothe fans who felt cheated by the lack of real action.
At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show.
Tony Bellew called the fight a circus and urged everyone to boycott Jake Paul until he faces someone not eligible for a senior discount. Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Davis also weighed in, with Davis calling Paul a bozo for failing to finish a 58-year-old Tyson. Meanwhile, Paul, ever the showman, expressed delight over his win and hinted at fighting Tyson's brother next, proving once again that nothing screams legitimacy like hopping from one scripted spectacle to another. This fight didn't prove much except that boxing is willing to sell its soul for a payday. Tyson may still be a legend, but this match was more reality TV than real boxing. As for Jake, the self-proclaimed problem child, he's still waiting for a real problem to face him in the ring.
I don't know what pleasure you can take from beating an old Mike Tyson.
I believe he actually won the first 2 rounds. Jake Paul probably won the rest of them. Mike Tyson's legs were gone, man. They were gone. And I believe Ryan, I got to give Ryan credit on this one, man. Because Ryan from Sports Wars, he did say that there would be like a no knockout clause.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, the supposed pinnacle of boxing, saw a 58-year-old legend face off against a YouTuber turned boxer. Fans expected a nostalgic Tyson blitz, but instead, they witnessed a glorified sparring session. Tyson bobbed and weaved for about 30 seconds before his legs gave out. Jake Paul, at 31 years his junior, managed to win in a fight many believe was choreographed tighter than a Broadway show.
What do you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg, so he couldn't. His balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing. Yeah. His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Critics immediately screamed scripted as leaked details eerily matched the fight's play-by-play. Mike Tyson didn't throw the punches he used to, likely contractually restrained from knocking Jake Paul into next week. Even former champions like Evander Holyfield called out the sham, questioning if Tyson was set up to lose. Jake Paul might have some skills, but let's not crown him a boxing 7 for beating a man older than some of his jokes. Netflix hyped this debacle to the moon, only to deliver lagging streams in a fight that resembled an awkward dad versus son backyard scuffle. Tyson's fans, clinging to memories of his prime, had to watch their hero reduced to biting his gloves instead of his opponents. The bout was less a clash of titans and more a corporate cash grab wrapped in disappointment, leaving boxing purists longing for the days when the sport had an ounce of dignity left.
He still might chasing Jake around the ring like that.
Again, these are 2-minute rounds. Tyson requested the 2-minute rounds, wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul.
Here we see Mike early land this jab right there that really knocked Jake back. I think that's his most effective punch of the round. But then we see the right hand grazes Mike Tyson by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot had it been on the chin. So Mike barely escaped that one. I don't like Mike's legs at 58 though.
The first round he's won in more than 2 decades.
Yeah, I don't like Mike's legs.
Mike Tyson just exposed the Jake Paul spectacle, and wow, what a revelation. Jake's big plan to fight Tyson had his dad in tears, probably from laughter. Tyson, at 58, came out swinging, but let's be real, it was more for show than a KO. The 2-minute rounds Tyson requested meant more action and less cardio. Jake stumbled around, landing punches that might have been lethal if Tyson were made of foam.
And a good right hand to the body after the jab, laid the jab there and threw a good right to the body. Pushed Mike off balance again because Mike wasn't ready for it. You don't like to see those kind of punches land because that tells you that his reflexes are off and coaching not what they used to be.
To us tonight, can find out sometime. But in terms of Jake Paul, you're right, Roy. He's turning into a boxer.
Yep. Oh, good shot.
And again, the left hook.
Good shot.
By round 3, Jake's acting like he's fighting prime Tyson. Spoiler, he's not. He lands a jab or two, pushes Mike off balance, and pretends this isn't the sports equivalent of a reality show plot twist. Tyson lands some left hooks to remind everyone who he is, but his reflexes are slower, and everyone knows it. Jake's corner yells about using the jab, as if that's going to turn this into Ala Frazier. Instead, we get Jake throwing soft punches while Tyson looks like he's wrestling ghosts from the 80s. The fight ends with both fighters hugging it out, making it clear this was a carefully staged money grab, not real boxing.